Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how to do the dumbbell decline chest press exercise. Now, this is a great exercise to train the lower area of the pec muscles. I'm also going to share with you an expert tip to help you better individualize this exercise to fit your body and your needs. And then lastly, I'm going to share with you how I like to put this in my training programs to build strength or to build muscle mass and hypertrophy. Let's dive in. So the first step is to place yourself on a slight decline. So if you're fortunate enough to have a bench that drops down into a decline where you can put this at a negative angle, great. I typically like to go just slightly below flat, so maybe 15 degrees. If you don't, you're gonna have to make your own. So I'll use something like a weight plate or maybe like a block that's anywhere from 1 to 3 inches, and I'll just put it right underneath. And now you can see we have a nice slow slope decline, and that's just enough to create a little bit of a variation to allow us to start training the lower pec. So the second step is to lay back with the dumbbells once they're on your thighs. Now a trick with this is as we lay back, because your feet aren't hooked in, if you have some way to hook your feet in, great, but you want to make sure that you keep your feet down during this exercise, as with all benching. Another trick here is as you lay back, the dumbbells themselves are going to be a little lower on the chest. So normally they're in line with that middle of the chest. I like to line it up more around my sternum, making sure as I lay back that they're not up high, but they're more down underneath, and my elbows are staying underneath my wrist as my chest stays tall. Third step here is to press upwards directly against gravity. We want to make sure we're not too far over our head. We're not pushing out in front towards our thighs. We're just pushing straight towards the ceiling, keeping our elbows lined up underneath our wrist as our chest stays high, and you're feeling a nice big stretch in the bottom of the chest. So an expert tip to help you get more out of this exercise is that you want to make sure as you lower the weights downwards, right? We start here and we're lowering them down. We want to really focus on opening up the bottom area of that chest. So a lot of times people will set up, they'll be here, and they're not letting the shoulders stay pinned back and really expand the lower pec area. So if you can make sure that as you come down, you're getting that big, deep stretch, and maybe even letting those dumbbells drift slightly wider apart, you're going to get that nice opening of the lower pec, and you're going to stretch the lower pec muscle fibers a little more, which can give you a little more growth. So now that you know how to perform this properly and some tricks on how to do it even better, I want to share with you how I like to put this into my workout programs and training. So I typically will train this either for strength or for hypertrophy. You can build muscle doing both, but I like to do one with a little bit heavier load. So typically when I'm doing more strength focused, I'm doing anywhere between 4 to 5 sets of 4 to 6 reps, really focusing on slowly lowering and getting that big overloaded big bottom stretch. And then if I'm training for more volume, trying to just get more size and growth in general, I'm going to be training between 3 to 4 sets for 8 to 12 reps. Again, I'm always focusing on getting that nice deep position and controlling the loads. I typically like to lower 1 to 2 seconds with a slight pause at the bottom when I do a little bit more muscle growth, hypertrophy focused work. So before you go and start doing this in your training, I want to make sure I address 2 common faults that I see during the decline bench press. The first is lack of control as we lower it down. We are asking a lot on the body and on the shoulders as we get into this deep stretch position. So that comes with a responsibility to control the loading on the way down. It's very easy to get caught up trying to do this and just start repping them out with heavy, heavy weights. Not understanding the purpose of this is to train the lower pec muscle fibers, get a nice big deep stretch. So you can train heavy, but you have to train with control. So I like to take 1 to 2 seconds on the way down, slight pause at the bottom. If I'm doing more strength work, again, I'm still about 2 seconds on the way down, and then I'm exploding up, never sacrificing form or the depth of the position. The second issue I commonly see is that people will go into this deep position and they'll collapse their shoulders forward. So what I'm talking about is as we lay back, we're coming down, and to get that extra inch or so of stretch, instead of expanding the chest and the rib cage and opening everything up, keeping the shoulders back, they sink into that bottom position. They don't get any extra stretch on the pec. They just roll the shoulders forward, and then they complain of shoulder pain. So making sure not only you're controlling it, but you're keeping everything pinned back. The deeper you go, the bigger stretch you get, and then we're driving on out forcefully. So now you have everything you need to know on how to do the dumbbell decline bench press properly, integrate into your workouts to build muscle and build strength, and even a trick to help better individualize this exercise for your body, your shoulders, and your goals. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe, comment below, let me know any questions you have, and stay tuned for more videos like this.